If you thought Remy Ma's reputation for keeping it real only lived in rap lyrics, think again, because what just went down makes love and hip-hop look like church service. This is Celebrity Press, and today, we're not just sipping tea, we're choking on the poison. Remy Ma, the Bronx queen herself, has just been arrested, and the charge? Allegedly trying to poison Claressa Shields, a world champion boxer, and, oh yeah, the woman many say was still way too close to Papoose. Now Claressa's clinging to life, and Remy? She's clinging to her freedom. Let's get real. If you found out your spouse was still texting their ex behind your back, and then that ex tried to play girl dinner with you in your own home, what would you do? Hug it out, or lace the mango juice? The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either. Whispers of audio leaks, smart fridge recordings, and a mystery second phone have turned this into a full-blown scandal with fingerprints, hospital drama, and maybe even premeditated revenge. Let's break it all down. And trust me, it gets uglier. Bro said too much, and they got him. Let's rewind the clock. Back before the sirens, the hospital rush, the smart fridge recording, and that one suspicious Amazon order, there was tension. A slow, simmering beef between two women who were never meant to be in the same room, let alone at the same dinner table. Remy Ma, the legendary Bronx MC, the ride-or-die wife of Papoose, had been fighting for more than her career lately. She was fighting to keep her marriage intact. But behind the Grammy-nominated bars and the flawless Instagram filters, cracks had started to show. And the name behind those cracks? Claressa Shields, Olympic gold medalist, undefeated boxing champ, and, according to several Twitter detectives, Papoose's almost ex who never quite let go. The tension had been brewing for years. Back in 2021, Claressa slipped during an interview and said, "Papoose always told me I was his first real love." That clip went viral faster than a Twitter meltdown, and fans immediately started connecting to Remy never wanted public. But Remy? She stayed silent. No tweets. No shady captions. No subtweets. Just silence. And for someone like Remy, silence doesn't mean peace. It means plotting. Then came the real twist. Out of nowhere, in what fans are now calling the trap dinner, Remy Ma allegedly invited Claressa over to her home for a private reconciliation dinner. No publicists. No cameras. Just the two of them. Woman to woman. Wife to almost mistress. According to leaked DMs between one of Remy's stylists and a close friend, the message read, "Remy wants to squash the drama. She said she's tired of the headlines." To which the friend replied, "Tired of the headlines or tired of pretending she don't want to swing?" But Claressa Shields, maybe trying to be the bigger woman, or maybe just walking into a trap, said yes. She showed up, alone. No entourage. No bodyguard. No gloves. Sources close to the situation described the setting as strangely warm. Candlelight. Soft R&B. Designer charcuterie. And then, of course, the infamous mango juice. Leaked footage from a doorbell camera showed Claressa entering the home around 7:16 p.m. She looked relaxed, smiling, wearing a green velvet blazer and black slacks. She even posted a boomerang on IG with Remy just 20 minutes before the incident, captioned, "Grown woman energy." But what happened next was anything but grown. A kitchen staff member, who later gave a statement under anonymity, claims that Remy was acting strange while preparing the drinks. One glass of mango juice was poured, then swapped, then wiped with a napkin before being served to Claressa. According to her, Remy whispered to herself just before handing over the glass, "You shouldn't have come here." Now pause. Let's be clear. These are allegations. Remy Ma's legal team denies everything. They say Claressa suffered a sudden allergic reaction to something she ate earlier that day. But the timeline doesn't lie. Claressa drank the juice. 15 minutes later, she began sweating profusely, clutching her chest, and struggling to breathe. Remy allegedly stayed calm. She adjusted the thermostat and said, "It's just hot in here, girl. I'll get you some ice." No urgency. No panic. Just cool indifference. Claressa somehow managed to leave the house on her own. She drove herself a few blocks before blacking out at a red light. Paramedics found her slumped over the wheel, barely conscious, phone in her lap. At the hospital, she was rushed into emergency care. Preliminary toxicology? Inconclusive. But an anonymous nurse later claimed the screen showed traces of a foreign compound not naturally found in food. Now here's where it gets dark. The housekeeper who originally leaked the whisper in the kitchen came back with more. She claims Remy made her throw out all remaining mangoes, bleached the counters twice, and asked her if the trash had been collected that night. That same housekeeper later contacted a popular celebrity gossip blog under a fake name, saying, "I don't know what she put in that juice, but it wasn't no regular mango mix." The blog didn't publish the message immediately, but after the hospital photos of Claressa leaked, for an arm, eyes barely open, they posted it with the headline, "Did Remy Ma try to take Claressa Shields out over a man?" And that's when Twitter exploded. Some users were stunned. Others weren't surprised at all. Comments like, "Remy been petty. Claressa was asking for it. This feels like Jocelyn Hernandez meets How to Get Away with Murder. Papoose somewhere rhyming murder with syrup while chaos unfolds." Then came the bombshell. An anonymous ex-user dropped what appeared to be audio captured from a smart fridge inside Remy's kitchen. Yes, the kind of fridge that tells you your milk is expired. Apparently, it also recorded conversations. In the grainy clip, a voice sounding eerily like Remy says, "She think this is spa day? Nah. She gon' learn today." And then, seconds later, play in my face again, and it won't be just juice. Whether it's real or AI fake, fans didn't care. The damage was done. And while the internet turned into a digital war zone, hashtag Remy Ma Juicegate, hashtag Free Claressa, hashtag Poison by Peace trending everywhere, Papoose remained silent. Not a post, not a tweet, nothing. Until 3 days later, when paparazzi caught him walking into a Manhattan law firm, Remy's legal team headquarters, wearing all black, hoodie pulled low, face unreadable. That photo sparked 1,000 theories. Was he defending her? Or flipping on her? Because right after that, prosecutors filed a request for Remy Ma's Amazon purchase history. And guess what was allegedly found? Latex gloves, a glass vial, and bitter almond extract, which for true crime fans, you already know smells a lot like arsenic. Suddenly, this wasn't just speculation. It was shaping up to be a full-blown criminal investigation. And the biggest question left hanging in the air: what did Papoose know? And when did he find out? If you thought this was just a jealous wife losing her cool, you're not even close. Because right as the internet was catching its breath from the smart fridge audio, a second bombshell dropped, this time from the New Jersey DA's office. According to leaked court whispers, they weren't just investigating Remy Ma for attempted poisoning. They were also digging into premeditation and motive. And that's when a second phone surfaced. Yep, while Claressa Shields lay unconscious in her hospital bed, paramedics recovering her car found a burner phone wedged under the passenger seat. The screen was cracked, locked with facial recognition, and the contact name tied to the lock screen? Pap. Not dad. Not coach. Not mom. Pap. Short for Papoose. So now, let's unpack this mess, because the deeper investigators dug into the contents of that phone, the clearer the timeline became and the darker it got. Insiders claim that once Claressa was conscious enough to unlock the phone using facial ID, what they found wasn't just some cute messages or old gym selfies. It was explosive. Deleted texts, archived voicemails, saved voice notes, and one message that reportedly read, "I hate hiding this from her. It wasn't supposed to go this far." Another read, "That night at the studio, I can't stop thinking about it." And then the one that changed everything. "Remy thinks I was out recording, but she don't know you were at my mom's barbecue last month." Boom. You could feel the internet collectively scream. So now the narrative flipped. What looked like a petty, violent overreaction by Remy Ma suddenly had motive written all over it. This wasn't just about ego. It wasn't just about Instagram shade. It was betrayal. In her home, in her marriage, and maybe in her kitchen. A voice note from Claressa to Papoose said, I get why she's mad. I wouldn't want me around either. But what we had was real. You told me she was just your temporary anger control when y'all first started dating. Temporary anger control. It was like pouring gasoline on a flame Remy had already lit under her own damn dinner table. Now fans turned on Papoose hard. The man who had stood by Remy during her prison sentence. The man who once symbolized loyalty in hip-hop. Now, he was looking like the very reason everything exploded. One viral tweet said, "You mean to tell me she went to jail for you and you couldn't even stay out of your ex's barbecue?" Another posted, "Remy stabbed a chick for you, and you hit send on this?" But the scandal wasn't done. Not even close. Because just as prosecutors started requesting GPS data, deleted iCloud backups, and text threads from Papoose's main phone, TMZ dropped a headline that damn near stopped the culture. Exclusive. Medical report shows untraceable chemical agent in Claressa's system. Bitter almond compound suspected. Let that sit for a moment. Untraceable chemical agent. If confirmed, that would make this attempted murder, not a dinner party gone wrong. And if you're wondering, who the hell even orders bitter almond extract? Well, guess what was on Remy Ma's Amazon order list 5 days before the dinner? Latex gloves. A lab-grade glass vial. Bitter almond extract. And one final detail, a pack of voice-activated mini recorders. Now why would Remy need recorders for a peace dinner? Were they for insurance? Or was she planning to record Claressa's final moments? Yeah, that's how dark this rabbit hole is getting. Meanwhile, Remy's legal team goes into full damage control. They release a public statement saying, "These allegations are not only false but fueled by a campaign to destroy a black woman's legacy. Remy Ma would never harm another black woman, especially not one with shared struggles." The internet? Not buying it. And things get even messier when Remy's own housekeeper, who originally leaked the kitchen whisper, agrees to testify anonymously in exchange for immunity. She tells investigators, "Miss Remy told me to dump the mangoes, scrub the glasses twice, and turn off the security camera in the kitchen for privacy." That privacy may have been for something far more sinister. Then comes the icing on the already rotting cake. One tabloid gets its hands on a group chat screenshot, allegedly between Remy, her stylist, and a few unnamed close friends. The chat is titled, "Clean Plate Club." And in that thread, Remy allegedly wrote, "Don't ever let a woman think she can play in your face and walk away with a clean slate." That message? Allegedly sent just 2 hours after Claressa was admitted to the hospital. At this point, even some of Remy's biggest defenders started backing away. One fan tweeted, "I wanted to believe this was a setup, but this feels like OJ meets Real Housewives." Even celebrities started chiming in. Hazily tweeted, "This is why I don't mess with rappers' wives." Tokyo Vanity added, "If Remy did that, she just ended her own legacy over juice." Fat Joe, always one to speak with caution, went live on IG and said, "Man, I don't know what's going on with Remington, but if y'all think she went full Dexter over a glass of mango, then y'all don't really know the Bronx." But the real twist? It wasn't a rapper or a gossip blog or even a leaked file that broke the internet. It was a nurse at the hospital, the very nurse who treated Claressa Shields that night. She came forward anonymously through a podcast interview and said, "I was there. I heard her as she was being wheeled in, barely breathing. She whispered, 'Remy, it was Remy.' She knew. Let that sink in. Not 'I'm hurt.' Not 'call help.' Not 'tell my mom.' Remy. It was Remy. She knew." Now fans started posting timelines, matching Remy's dinner photos with Claressa's ER timestamp. Reddit threads turned into virtual courtrooms. TikTok reenactments were getting millions of views within hours. Even wellness influencers started posting detox videos saying, "Don't accept mango juice unless you pour it yourself." And then, silence. Remy Ma deactivated all her social media. No tweets. No statements. Just digital dust. And when Papoose finally resurfaced, it wasn't to defend her. It was in a hoodie, head low, walking back into that same Manhattan law office. Some believe he's preparing a statement. Others think he's cooperating. And some say he's just trying to save himself before the feds come knocking. So just when the internet thought it had reached peak chaos, a mystery figure entered the chat. An anonymous source claiming to be a former paralegal at a boutique law firm in Manhattan leaked a new twist. Papoose had already contacted a divorce attorney 3 weeks before the peace dinner with Claressa. Yes, you read that right. While Remy was allegedly preparing charcuterie and checking mango ripeness, Papoose was planning to leave her. And the reason he hadn't filed yet? According to the source, he was worried about how Remy would react. Worried about how she'd react? Chilly, he was right to be worried. Because the minute that reconciliation dinner turned into a possible felony assault investigation, people started connecting dots fast. If Papoose was emotionally checked out, still in contact with Claressa, and contemplating a quiet exit, then maybe, just maybe, Remy Ma wasn't trying to send a message. She was trying to erase a threat. And the law started catching up. Authorities issued subpoenas for both Remy and Papoose's cell phone records. Claressa's second phone had already opened a Pandora's box of cheating, secret meetups, and emotionally incriminating voice notes. But now investigators wanted confirmation. Was Papoose secretly luring Claressa back into his life? And Remy found out? A digital forensics team began reconstructing deleted iCloud backups and retrieving metadata from Claressa's burner. What they found next? A deleted video file titled Rooftop. It was a blurry clip, reportedly showing Claressa and Papoose embracing on a rooftop somewhere in Brooklyn. Date stamped just 2 weeks before the dinner. The same weekend, Remy posted a solo picture with a caption, "Don't let energy near you that already picked sides." Yikes. Now, let's talk legal heat. A lab report confirmed what fans feared. The compound found in Claressa's system was consistent with cyanogenic glycoside, a toxin found in trace amounts in bitter almond extract. Lethal in high doses, odorless, tasteless, and nearly impossible to trace once metabolized, unless the exposure is recent. Guess what? The mango juice in question had been poured less than 30 minutes before Claressa was admitted. A search of Remy's home, authorized via emergency warrant, uncovered a bottle with chemical residue and one clear fingerprint, Remy's. So now we had a motive, a poison, a leaked confession from Claressa in the ER, a smart fridge audio file, and a husband who was emotionally checked out but now legally cornered. Still think this was just a dinner party gone wrong? Now here's where the emotional collapse began. Papoose, long considered one of the most loyal men in hip-hop, finally broke his silence, but not in a press release. He went live on Instagram, eyes tired, hoodie drawn, and dropped a vague statement that only made things worse. Sometimes you think you know someone until they show you who they really are. All I can say is, I ain't have nothing to do with it. But we all got demons. And sometimes they cook dinner. Let that sit for a second. The internet didn't even breathe. Within minutes, #DemonsCookDinner was trending worldwide. Memes exploded. Fans were divided. Even verified celebs jumped into the chat. Juju from Love and Hip Hop tweeted, "I told y'all years ago, Remy, don't play about hers." Masika Kalisha posted, "This is why I say emotional cheating is worse." She snapped, "I get it." But while the internet debated morality, the DA was building a case. Prosecutors reportedly assembled a 47-page file of evidence including the smart fridge audio, the leaked group chat, Clean Plate Club, purchase receipts, GPS data, eyewitness testimony from the housekeeper, and now, voice match threats traced back to Remy's cell. But here's the biggest twist no one expected. Claressa Shields stayed completely silent. Not a tweet, not an interview, not a single public statement. She posted a black square to Instagram with just one caption, "Healing." That's it. That's the post. Which only raised more questions. Was she healing or waiting? Waiting for legal permission to speak? Waiting for Remy's formal indictment? Or maybe Claressa knew something else. Something no one had mentioned yet. Because just days before the script flipped into legal overdrive, a voice note leaked from Papoose's iCloud. In it, he says to someone presumed to be Claressa, We messed up. I know that. But if she finds out, it won't just ruin my marriage, it could ruin her freedom too.
Boom.
So he knew. He knew there was a line, and they crossed it. Now fans started asking, did Papoose set Claressa up to take the fall for his emotional affair? Or was Remy pushed so far emotionally, she snapped in a way none of us expected? Was this about love or power? And while all of that swirled, a final damning piece of evidence emerged. A second voice memo, allegedly from the night of the dinner, captured from a hallway surveillance cam outside the kitchen. A muffled voice, but clear enough to ID, as Remy's says. She thought I didn't know. She thought she could sneak behind my back, eat my food, sit at my table, and text my man? I'm not the one. And just like that, prosecutors added intent to the file. Now, Remy Ma wasn't just under arrest. She was facing a possible attempted homicide charge. Fashion Nova pulled her name from their partnership list. BET canceled her appearance at the hip-hop honors. And a rumored Lifetime biopic? Quietly reevaluated. But perhaps the most brutal hit? Her podcast deal was suspended indefinitely. The very brand she'd been building to shift away from rap and into entrepreneurship paused. And Claressa?
Alive.
Healing. But reportedly being protected by private security. She's said to be considering a civil suit, not just against Remy, but possibly against Papoose as well, for emotional damages and negligence. Which leaves us here. The hip-hop world is shaken. Remy Ma, once seen as a redemption story, is now being painted as a cautionary tale. And Papoose? The man at the center of it all? His silence may not just cost him a marriage, but a reputation that once stood for loyalty. She vanished without a trace, but the secret stayed. So now you've heard it, all of it. A love triangle turned courtroom saga. A glass of mango juice that may have carried more than just pulp. A world champion boxer barely clinging to life. And a rap legend now sitting behind bars, her empire collapsing one headline at a time. But here's the real question. Was this karma or calculated? A woman pushed past her breaking point, or a cold, strategic hit masked as hospitality? And what about Papoose? Was he just a clueless husband caught in the crossfire, or the quiet mastermind who lit the match and walked away? Because when the DMs are deleted, the voicemails are recovered, and the juice glasses are cleared, the truth still lingers. Was Remy protecting her marriage or protecting her pride? We want to hear from you. Drop your take in the comments. Speech balloon: was this attempted murder or a moment of madness? Speech balloon: should Claressa speak publicly or let the courts handle it? Speech balloon: do you believe Papoose was as innocent as he claims? Backhand index pointing down smash that like if your jaw hit the floor. Bell hit subscribe if you think this is just the beginning. Because more footage is leaking. More witnesses are talking. And baby, the truth doesn't hide forever, especially when the smart fridge is listening. This has been Celebrity Press, where silence is deadly and secrets never stay buried. See you in the next expose.